Hey, this is ELiXR, and you're now tuned into my 416 interview.
All right, first off, bro, why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself and how you got into the creative field and what's your journey been like so far?
Wow, so dude, thank you so much for having me. I've been in the art industry for over 10 years now, about a hit around 11 next year. It's been one hell of a journey. I've had a lot of ups, a lot of downs, but I've been fortunate enough to learn and grow and expand my portfolio throughout the last 5 years. Because just for some context, the whole 10 wasn't me in the industry. I spent the first half as like a hobbyist, and then from 2019 up until current, that's when I started working heavily in the city, in the industry, etc. So it's definitely been a wild journey to say the least.
All right, cool. And while doing my research on you, I looked in your website and in your About Us page, it says, as an artist, you weave through the narratives of your past, future into your work and exploring any medium of this at your disposal. What does your creative process look like when creating a song?
If you're asking about when I was doing rap music, like literally, I would just so I would have to give a very big thank you to my guy Else, who you've also had on your platform before. He really helped me find my sound back when I was younger. Plus, I met him during a very awful time in my life. I met him in like 2021, which I could say confidently was by far the worst year of my life, but it really gave me the fundamentals on how to move and grow as a person through all the hardships. So basically with that, I was kind of getting him to, mix and master all my stuff because before that, I was kind of doing everything on GarageBand, very, very shitty. And I didn't know anything about the concept of mixing, mastering, EQs, or like anything of that. I did not know. So basically, with that, I ended up switching over to BandLab, which I could proudly still say that I use till this day. I even did the mixing for the whole Breathe tape on BandLab, and I also did the mastering myself with this program called Lander. Very, very great. That's so the reason why I decided to use like all of like the program approaches instead of like doing everything all manually is because I'm trying to teach people that you don't need thousands and thousands of dollars and the top engineers to make your shit sound good. If you can trust your own ear, that's all there is to it. But to answer back to the executive production side of things, um, I listen to music damn near every day, if not every day. My Spotify is working overtime for me. So I definitely do listen to a lot of new upcoming Toronto artists. Plus, I do work with this multimedia company named DMTV, founded and owned by my brother Maxim Byarski, and we're always putting each other on to new acts in the city, new talents, etc. So, um, by basically that's how I met, like one of my best friends, Lil Graysky. And I met him on the set for Unfocused Visions, and even TMB. I met him actually through high school. That's how I met Max. But that's kind of like the same of like how I met FBK was, through Max. So I always go out my way to find new talents, and then the whole executive production, that's when I get very creative. That's when I get manic. That's where I get like super crazy with it. I'm like, yo, how can I find, one act who hasn't featured on a song with this other act? So that's how, on the song Past Souls, named after this painting, right here, this painting right here, this is like literally the title Past Souls. Um, I got my brothers Aiden Skira and Nick Souza on it. And I met Nick Souza through the Remix Project. And the Remix Project, I'll elaborate more in detail within this interview. Um, they've really helped me a lot throughout this creative journey as well. So in terms of the music, it's always been you know, me finding sounds. You know, I was very early on to new jazz actually, and there is this moment in time back in February 2024. I actually did a whole ass like college presentation on new jazz, and it blew up on these like underground Instagram pages. And the moment that I posted it onto my story, I was like, I had to brace myself because I knew it was gonna happen. Lunchbox sees it, you know. He tells me, "Yo, send it to my iMessage." Da, 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 da. Then all of a sudden, I'm getting all these like messages and all these pages hitting me up, and yeah, it was all crazy. So, yeah, music has been a very big factor, and I'm fortunate enough to, you know, come from, you know, a kind of musical upbringing within not only my arts but also within my family as well. You know, just kind of wrap that up. I was born in a European family. I am half Sicilian on my mother's side, and I'm half Greek Macedonian on my dad's side. So growing up, I was always listening to, you know, house music, Euro dance, rap, all that. So, yeah. So from that, it really grew to who I've become today musically.
And then I know you say you've been all over the place when it comes to genres and stuff like that. You listen to a lot. What kind of genres do you gravitate at the moment when it comes to creating music?
Definitely hip hop, Afro house, Afro beat. I'm a sucker for dance hall as well. Definitely, I've been bumping a lot of house recently. Again, a lot of Afro influences as well. There's this new artist who has been popping up a lot, especially on TikTok. His name is Jacob Valen. He just released a song called "Tell Me That You Love Me," and it's like if you listen to that song from front to back, you can understand why I love it. That's why I even gave like Drake's "Honestly Nevermind" a 10 out of 10 when it first came out, because I could appreciate house music altogether. You know, um, definitely, I was very big on new jazz. I still appreciate the genre to this day. Um, Also, just a lot of, I know this gonna sound a little bit niche, but a lot of cinematic style rap as well, like Travis, Ye, those are the two cornerstones as well. I listen to a lot of Jersey Club, listen to, you know, just a lot of upbeat music altogether. So, yeah, yeah, so that's pretty much about that.
I want to pivot to you and your creative directing. How did you like first get into that? Do you remember you want to talk about like your first kind of projects involved in that and to today?
Yeah, so I first started creative direction when I was around 13 and a half, 14. You know, I didn't really start off on Photoshop first. Funny enough, I actually started on this other program back in 2015, actually, like way before I even learned the term creative director. And it was this program called Photor, Fotor. And what's funny is that I didn't save like the actual like files. I would literally, I swear to you, I would take my iPad, you know, for example, like imagine if this is like my iPad. I would literally take a photo of the screen and post it, because I that's how like young I was. Like I didn't really understand like what high quality processing was or anything like that. So when I transitioned over to Photoshop, you know, around the 13 or 14, and that's when I started, you know, fucking around like making cover art and this and that. So my first client, if we're talking like just unserious, very like, you know, whatever, it was actually for one of my buddies, who was doing rap music at the time, and that was like 2019. And you know, obviously the cover didn't get used because I was very amateur, but I was fortunate enough to, you know, have that experience and kind of like learn from that. But my very first client job was TMB's No Friends, and that was January 2022, and that was the first actual job that actually got put on all streaming, and that was like the first time I had someone come at me like saying like, "Yo,
What was that feeling?
oh, dude, it was like when I saw my shit hop on streaming services, like on all DSPs, I was like, I remember I was showing my parents, I was like, yo, like I did this shit, you know? So like it was like it just felt surreal. And like now, like, I'm still very grateful, for all my clients, who want me to do their covers, but like to have that feeling is like a once in a lifetime, but like you say, like, like fun's over. Now this is your new reality. So yeah. But if we're talking like actual like design work other than cover art, the first serious project, definitely the Angels Asylum collection, which unfortunately never got put into production, at least for right now. Big shout out to my brother Xander, who he really helped me a lot, because back when I was in like the gutters of my life, he was literally one of the reasons why I came out stronger than ever. And he literally and I literally say this hand on Bible, he saved my life. And because if I didn't meet him, I don't know where the fuck I would have been. um and that's very scary to even think. I'll leave that up to interpretation for right now. But yeah, he really decided to like be like, yo, I'm gonna give you a chance. And he fucking believed in me, and I designed this entire collection, which you can see on my website. Hopefully the collection will get into production. I actually did do a design for him, which actually got put as a sample. I'll actually find it right now. Actually, it says Asylum High Dropouts. What's funny enough is I actually made all of the collection. Shout out my grade 11 English teacher, who always like let me just like work on shit, especially. But I gotta be honest, bro was like, because this was like during like independent reading time. All of the Angels Asylum stuff that anyone has seen, I've worked on in English class. Yeah. So little fun fact about that.
So being a creative director and a bunch of projects, have you ever had a time, or like are you willing to share an example where you made a bold decision that not too many people would have made that actually paid off?
For sure. Actually, this happened very recently. Actually, funny enough. So my dog Lil Graysky, so he just came out with a single. By the time that we're recording this, it came out on the 27th. It's currently the 29th, of December. So he gave me this song. It was called "Fucked Up." It was featuring 647. And basically, he was like, "Yo, do whatever you want," because he gives me all the creative freedom, like with the whole Polaroid series that like we've been doing. That was like that was kind of like I took heavy inspiration from from one of my favorite photographers, slash music video directors, Stills, because he shoots on a 1970s Polaroid land camera, Polaroid Big Shot, on FP100C film, the same film that Andy Warhol used. So instead of using that film, which is impossible to get now because like for a pack of 10 it costs like $100 USD, we decided to use the square format, of the classic Polaroid. So I was fortunate enough to steal a Polaroid a camera for my grade 10 art class. Funny enough. So yeah. Anyways, that cover art that I did for Fucked Up, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get fake pills. They're gonna be vitamins. I'm gonna get one of my prescription bottles, cover up the name, whatever, and get icing sugar as Coke. And what's funny enough is my mom actually saw me cooking up the cover art in the kitchen, and she was like, "Yo, like what?" And I asked her like, "Yo, do you have any flour?" And she automatically assumed for what? And she's like, "Oh, here's what's better, icing sugar." I'm like, "You got that shit." So, I was like, "Okay." So we cook it up, boom, shoot the cover, bam, bam, bam. As soon as Graysky posts the uncensored, you can see the uncensored cover. It's on my website. His account gets suspended for like 12 hours, and I was like, "Ugh, this is all my fault." So Make it a long story short, get it back. Cool, cool, cool. He submits an appeal, and we had to pixelate it. I've been trying my best to convince him to switch back to the uncensored cover, but he's very adamant on sticking with the pixelated version just for the sake of he doesn't want to get people's accounts suspended. But I don't think that distribution services would allow, because it already went through with the uncensored version. So I don't know, creative integrity goes to different ways. So yeah, that's probably definitely one of my boldest creative moves within my career so far, and I'm very fortunate that it happened recently.
I want to pivot back toward you, bro. Explain the story behind the name ELiXR. ELiXR.
First discovered the name ELiXR. It was in 2014. I'll never forget. I used to go under a different name actually, which actually so I don't share my government name at all. Like that's something that I take extreme pride in because I want to keep my personal life, my family life, etc., completely separate from the art, and I just want to have ELiXR just because I love the name. Where exactly I got it, I I don't even know. I think I literally just found the word elixir somewhere, made it into my own spelling. So like it's like capital E-L lowercase I uppercase X-R, removing the second I, and just having that, because like just the name itself, it already looks like a piece of art. Like that's why I'm very key on people, capitalizing it the same way as I would spell it. But to answer the question, Elixir has been like I wanted something like as I grew older, I wanted to kind of roll off the tongue, because again, my old name was okay. Not to get too crazy personal, but basically one of my relatives, not gonna say what kind of relative, he worked in I assume he still works in the music industry. I'm not gonna say what role in Toronto. And basically it was like his first name and his nickname. So for first name, nickname, I was like, okay, I did the exact same thing as him. So like my name but his nickname as well. And then 2015 came around, and I was already making videos on my iPad, like unboxings, reviews, Yap sessions, under the name Elixir Productions. So I was like, yo, what if I just call myself Elixir? Because I already have the name, I wanted to change, plus I really don't think people would really, so yeah, I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm Elixir. And ever since then, it just fucking stuck. Like there was a moment in 2018 where I wanted to change my name, but then I was thinking, I'm like, nah, it's just gotta fucking stay.
I know we touched on this a little bit in the start, but recently I've seen all across your social media pages that you recently graduated from the Remixes Project Round 19 for the Creative Arts program for Visual Arts. Do you want to explain like what this is and how it kind of helped you transform your creative journey and helped you in any way, networking, etc.?
First off, very very grateful that I was able to join the Remix project. Not too many people will be able to get the opportunity if they don't apply. And it's a very competitive program to get into, and the fact that I got it on the very first try that I applied, very thankful. So the Remix project, in my words, it's a 9 month, so from March to December, multidisciplinary arts training incubator, where basically it's split into three programs. So I was in creative arts, but there's also recording arts, which they're most known for, and business arts. So they help you with mentorship opportunities. You attend workshops, executive sessions, journeys, panels, and they really help you kind of get like gain the glue to your career and help you with your goals into what you want to accomplish within the 9 months you are at Remix. So I was fortunate enough to have Meg Prosper. Big shout out to her. You know, she really heard me out within these last 9 months, and it was a really big roller coaster for me mentally and emotionally. So the fact that she put up with me, I gotta give her big props. She really helped me achieve my goals and then some. You know, because there was stuff that I thought that I would never be able to do. That like for example, like the Scarborough Town Center placement, which I got. You know, if right now, if it's still up, if you go to door 4 over at the Scarborough Center doors, um, there's the start of the Remix project at Scarborough Town Center gallery installation of me and many other very talented visual artists who graduated from Remix, um, and also photographers as well. And when I got the confirmation that my art was gonna be, you know, up there, it was so fucking surreal because growing up, me and my dad went to that mall, and he went to that mall as a kid as well. And at first, a little bit of lore. Um, so they did the installation on 2 separate days. My piece went up on the second day. I went on a date with this girl on the first day of installations, and I saw that my work wasn't there. So I was like, fuck. Like, you know, like I thought like damn I look like such a fool right now. And then like I remember just coming home just so defeated. Next thing you know, Meg pulls me aside to like, yo, I have some good news for you. Gives me her phone. Boom. It's up there. That feeling of like euphoria that I got whenever, you know, like, and this happens whenever I lock in a big placement. It was like I legit almost cried because I was like, yo, I can't fucking believe it was there. I didn't go the next day. I went like, so I got the news on a Wednesday. I went on a Saturday. So I went there with Max, and to see my work enlarged in person at a place where it was so sentimental to me, I was like, yo, like this is crazy. Yeah, but for me to, you know, like meet, you know, some really dope people, like I was fortunate enough to, you know, dap up Roy Woods. Wasn't able to, you know, properly, you know, get like a proper, you know, one on one with him briefly. um you know, Jessie Reyes as well. She's like one of, if not the most famous graduate from the Remix project. I've been fortunate enough to meet Ovio Noel, really dope dude. He's Drake's engineer. And also Wonder Girl very recently actually. Yeah, so like even meeting those very cool fucking people. Um, I never thought that I'd be able to meet outside of Remix, but yeah.
So far in this conversation, bro, you've had some really highs and some lows when it comes to your creative journey. How do you define success personally?
I split success in both personally and creatively. So personally, me getting up out of bed, me making my bed. If you look at my bed right now, you don't see the wrinkles. You don't see sheets folded. Not even at my lowest depressive moments, I'll still be able to make my bed. Having inner peace with myself, which is oftentimes nowadays rare, or even, you know, not having anxiety, that's personal success to me. Me being able to talk to my parents, being able to, you know, discuss with what I got going on with them, that's success to me because I know that not too many kids, not too many people are able to have that relationship with their parents, especially in the arts. Because, you know, most parents nowadays are like, yo, be a doctor, be a lawyer, be an accountant, etc. My parents were kind of like, yo, be whoever the fuck you want to be, but don't hurt people with what you're doing. Now, creatively, um, that's, you know, me being able to lock in placements with, you know, people that I never thought I'd be able to work with. Going back to, you know, getting my work, or even if it's like going back to my cover art platform, but like on all platforms, that was success to me. Me being able to sell a painting at, like I remember selling paintings for like $50 back in 2020, and I sold a painting for 900 at my last art show. That's success to me. Selling paintings, like being able to monetize the shit that I'm able to make to money. That's success to me creatively. And I know people will be able to have their opinions about that, but I'm just speaking for mine. So, um, but also finding a new light for inspiration. Me being able to, like let's say if I find a new painting idea and I'm able to visualize it in my head and do it, that's success to me. Success doesn't represent, materialism. Cause I was very big in flex culture. It didn't really make me a good person back in the day, back in like 2016. Um, it's not defined by money, although I did say translating what I do, with my hands to money. But I don't make stuff strictly to get money. I strictly do it because I fucking love art. I breathe it. I live it. I literally live in it every fucking day, like as per my bedroom, So success to me is split into two different things, and I'm very fortunate enough. And I know that it's a work in progress. Quite a good question, because I know that like as I grow older, there are gonna be more things that'll define success to me.
You've been through this creative journey for the last 10 years of your life. Throughout everything, bro, how do you stay like motivated to just keep going in this creative journey?
I definitely have a lot of friends who inspire me to keep going. I have very supportive parents who encourage me to take breaks, who encourage me, like yo, study this artist, look at this pop culture icon, look at this. Um, looking like I my biggest thing that inspires me is just life, my past experiences, my past traumas, my past heartbreaks. Like if you listen to my last rap album, like a majority of the themes were about heartbreak. But I've even translated that into my paintings. um in terms of design, whatever. It's just all the stuff that I see every day. It's just like my brain is like my solid state drive, so I'm able to kind of like just pull tad bits of inspiration here, there, and this and that and the third. But yeah, inspiration, and also having a good team around you, whether that's business or friendship, because there was a specific time in my life where and back in 2021 where I was hanging around some very horrible people who I thought were my friends, and let's just say did not work out the best way. But now I'm very fortunate enough to say that I'm surrounded around people who I could call family. Like my best friend Oduro, Maxim, Christina, Graysky, also big up Medasser, aka Data X, and there's also a lot more people that like my mind is blanking out right now, who have been involved within my life. Oh, also like Xander as well, Else as well. List goes on and on, but if I didn't mention them, like they know who they are. They fucking know who they are, and it takes a village. That's the biggest thing that I've learned. It really takes a village to get to where I wanted to be, and I'm nowhere where I want to be. But if I didn't have those people who inspire me for me to keep going, I don't think I would be working right now.
Going deeper into the mind of ELiXR, what core message do you hope your audience takes away from like your diverse body of work, including your music, your art installations, as well as any projects that you've worked on as a creative director?
Don't be afraid to fuck up. Don't be afraid to explore new mediums. I've been fortunate enough to have my career as a multidisciplinary artist, to do any and all mediums I want, whether that's painting, designing, photography, design, etc. I've been fortunate enough to do it. To the younger generation, you can do it too. That's the biggest thing that I tell anyone who runs in my DMs asking me for advice. As I previously said, it does take a team, but that's later on. But it takes a lot of self discovery as well, and also just really putting yourself out there. I know it's scary. I know it could be nerve wracking, but we all start somewhere. Like, even if you get one person, if you get one person saying like, "Yo, I fuck with that," guess what? That's one person already. That's one person too much. And obviously, like, not too much as like a negative connotation. You know, um, but I've been fortunate enough to share my work when it was the shittiest. Even if your work is terrible, post it. You need that feedback. Even if you get, a DM saying like, "Yo, your art is fucking trash, your music fucking sucks, go quit, go kill yourself," all that. Well, the hate, you need to translate that as motivation to, find new ways to get inspired and to work, put in your 10,000 hours. That's the biggest thing. Like, yo, you gotta put in the hours. If it came easier, it just wouldn't stick. That's the biggest thing that I've learned within the last couple months.
Lastly, bro, what are some new projects you've been working on? Let everybody know. What's up?
Yeah, wow. So 2025 is gonna be a movie, quite literally. I have my documentary in the works called "Breathe" on Masking Elixir. It's basically about my journey up until my art show. That happened back in November. Also titled "Breathe: The Multidisciplinary Odyssey of Elixir," as I mentioned earlier. And we're gonna have a full world premiere screening in Toronto in February, but also we're gonna be having a public release online, um, and that's gonna be like within the same time frame after the screening. But the screening is gonna be a huge event, and once I announce the ticket link, I want everybody there. We're gonna split it into two tiers. We're gonna split it into general admission and VIP. That's all I'm gonna say for now. But when the announcement comes, y'all better be ready. And I have another Toronto art show actually happening in the summer. I'm gonna announce the dates very soon in the new year. And the art show is a 1 month long art show, and it's gonna be called "I Cry Opals." "I Cry Opals" is kind of like a retrospective of like my mixed media work. It's gonna be like everything I'm still doing, but I'm gonna focus on like larger scale works, and I'm very excited. And then obviously, I got a lot of stuff tied in with the "I Cry Opal" stuff too. But I am planning on doing a New York show in 2025 as well, but that's gonna be later on within the year, and hopefully I could do something in Miami for Art Basel as well. But I'll leave that up to my team for right now. But definitely, I got the Toronto screening happening, the Toronto art show residency in the horizon, and I also got the New York show TBA as of right now. But yeah, it's gonna be very exciting, and it's gonna be a very life changing year because I have worked fucking nonstop all 2024, and trust me, burnout is real. Please take care of yourself, because back in October, I damn near had. I almost got sent to the hospital. That's how fucked up it was. So yeah, please take care of yourself, everybody, especially as artists, because your brain is very sensitive. As very insensitive as it sounds, it's very true. Yeah, so fortunately enough, I was able to have people around me be like, "Yo, like, you just gotta regulate," because trust me, the amount of panic attacks, anxiety attacks I've had within the prep of the art show was an incredible amount, and not in the best way possible, because I was kind of forced to kind of do everything myself at one point, because some people that I was working with kind of whatever, but Yeah. So yeah, definitely those three things, but definitely world domination. You know, because from 2025 onwards, it's up. You know, and I gotta thank I gotta thank the team that I'm working with right now, Chris Mori. You know, that's family. That's my sister, and also Data X as well, who I also mentioned as well. We got a lot planned, and I'm very excited. People will know ELiXR very very soon internationally, and if you're not ready, I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to get ready.
Lux for done, if you was a nuisance. Wrist on froze, bitch out too. Shooter a fool, put on you. I just leveled up, I got the power, feel like Majin Buu.